Hello and welcome. I am so glad you're here. I'm Beth, a creator-based coach with CMH Coaching for Life. I'm here today to help you and those you love create a life you feel grounded and at home in. Think of a life where you feel peace, love for those around you, and in a flow with just enough challenge to keep you happy and creating something wonderful. Sounds like magic, but it's not. You can create that life every single day. You can have a life full of love, excitement, hope, and creation. Our mission at CMH Coaching is to flood the earth with light through compassion, mindfulness, and hope. And I'm going to ask a favor of you. If you like what you see and hear today, think of someone you know that would enjoy and benefit from this message. Our mission is to flood the world with compassion, mindfulness, and hope. Share this with them. But for now, this is time just for you. So settle into whatever you're doing and enjoy this time with the girls where we create that one awesome, amazing, perfect life every one of us is seeking.
You gotta watch your thinking. Watch your thinking. Watch your thinking.
Welcome. We are really glad you're here. Welcome to A Creator-Based Life, the weekly podcast for CMH Coaching. We empower women of faith to create the lives they love, the lives they have always wanted. And I'm here with the beautiful Jacine Bonnet, a business coach, a mom, a grandma, an avid runner, and Jennifer DeRuse, a coach, a can grow anything gardener, and a hypnotherapist. And I'm Beth, a master life coach, an author, the creator of The Creator-Based Way. Create your one awesome, amazing, perfect life. And we are here to talk about goals. Oh, are you just tired of hearing about goals?
No,
No, you're good. You're still good. Okay, so
that's my life.
I was writing this morning, next week's Monday morning inspiration, and this phrase came to my mind. And I'm not even exactly sure how it got here, but it relates directly to me and my goals. You can catch a lot more flies with honey than you can vinegar. And then the next thought in my head was, why would you want to catch flies?
Right? It's just what?
Right. But I thought about it, and living across the road, and it's a road, it's not a street where I live. In fact, they call it a road. It's a road here.
A road.
A road across from the cow pasture. We get flies. And so some people put fly tape, on their front porch.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you can catch flies very much like a little fruit fly trap if you put honey in the bottom of a quart jar and you've got a funnel at the top because the flies can't get out.
Right.
But if you put vinegar in there, it just doesn't work. So I kind of understood you can catch a lot more flies with honey than you can with vinegar. But then I got thinking, isn't that the way it is with all of our relationships? We catch more friends with honey. We catch happier husbands with honey. We are kinder to ourselves with honey than with vinegar. And so I got thinking, well, if that's the truth, then why not stay with my honey-coated words when I'm talking to myself about my goals?
Mm-hmm.
So I want to catch more energy. I want to catch more oomph with my goals. So I'm going to do it with honey instead of vinegar. It was a whole long story about the phrase that came to my head this morning. But thinking about that, you can catch more flies with honey than with vinegar. How does that apply with you guys? I mean, how are your goals going? Are they still inspired? Do you still remember your word? My word is really embedded. How are you guys doing?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. My word is really embedded. And I don't know. I've been pretty sick for the past 2 weeks. So
JC's in a growing season.
I don't know what goals are right now. Goals are just to get better. That's been my goal for about half of the month for January. So yep. I'm doing good with my goal. I'm getting better.
Every day better, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. What about you, Jen?
So yeah, my word really is very active in my life right now, which to me is like, oh, this is exciting. But then I'm kind of like going, oh, wow, where's the Lord going to take me with
Does it
this?
feel a little
for the rest of the
overwhelming?
year? Yeah. Yeah. A little bit like, oh, what's coming down? Yeah. Which is still okay, but no, it's really good. And it's, I find myself in a space in January that I have never been in. So I'm just kind of like a little
And
bit
it's a good space, right?
It's great
It's a
space.
good space.
It's a
Because I
great
know you're not
space.
usually a January goals girl. You're usually kick it into gear in the spring when things start to grow and you can be
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah, and I usually tend to just like really go inward and hibernate in January and give myself the excuse to just, and that's okay. I mean, that's okay. A lot of people do that. But for some reason, with my word and just some stuff that is finally coming to fruition, I don't know who this girl is in January.
But we're way excited about
I'm
hanging with her.
excited about it myself, and I'm just like, holy cow. So yeah, who knows?
That's so fun.
Maybe new part of me. So
Well,
yeah.
the goal today is to help everybody that's listening to help keep that momentum going.
Mhm.
The momentum that you have, Jen. Who is
Yes.
this girl? And we're going to keep going. And pretty soon it'll be, well, February in just a few days, March, April. When we get to April and May and we're still running on goals, we're doing great, right? Then it's become part of us. So it's kind of like nourishing a baby plant. Here, hold on, I'll show you. This is my baby plant. I am not by nature an indoor plant gardener. I'll show you the other one. Hopefully you're able to see this one.
Oh,
see the
cute.
Oh, yeah.
miserable stub
He's
down
So
there?
cute.
Okay,
Mhm.
pretty sure that one's dead because it's a barrel cactus, but it was neglected for so long that even that died. So we want to have our plants, our goals be more like this and less like that. I have been trying to resurrect this because goals are resurrectable, right? So we're going to do it. But the question is, how do we do that? I mean, for those of us who don't remember what their goals are anymore, not like I'm guilty of that or anything, just saying. But what do we do? I mean, how do we keep things going? What do you guys suggest? What do you think?
One of my biggest things was, to me, goals were life overhauls. And so it was like very overwhelming, and I would get excited and then just absolutely lose gas and then be done. Just like, not going to do it because now I look at myself and look at my failure type thing. And I'm learning that you just take little teeny bites and every day just do a little teeny bite. And then next thing you know, you've got something taken care of, or your momentum is picking up and you're getting closer to it, and you can get excited and see what's happening. And then the next thing you know, it's kind of the snowball effect, because it gives your brain the dopamine it needs to continue to go and everything. But one of the big keys for me was like, even on those times when I'm like, I don't even want to do anything, just go do one thing, even if it's just a minute. Just do one thing.
Just one thing.
I love that. Yeah, the power of just one small thing is so
or 5
important.
minutes, right?
Yeah. And it doesn't even have to
Not
be
even
for 5
that.
minutes.
Yeah.
What if your goal is to walk every day, right? I'm going to go outside. I'm going to walk every day. Well, maybe like me, you don't feel very good. So I'm going to go outside. I'm going to walk to the mailbox and I'm going to walk back. But I went outside and I walked, right? And you can have that. I think it's really important to have like minimal goals as well as that BHAG, big, hairy, audacious goal, right?
So you have like goal range.
Yeah, like a goal range. Like,
I love that.
The minimum that I need to do to accomplish or to move forward with my goal. This is the bare minimum.
I think Christine, what I do with that is I have where I want to be, like my big goal. And then I narrow, it's part of inspired. I narrow it down to what is the smallest thing I can do right now that's going to move me towards that bigger space.
Yes.
Yeah. That's the N in inspired, right? Is it an N and an S? The S is specific. So is it specific? Yeah. Yeah, this is a show and tell day. I want you to see this.
January.
See, it's
Okay.
almost
Yep.
in. Okay,
Yep.
so this is another way I keep my goals. Now, call me a 2-year-old if you want to. It's more like 6-year-old. But I have my colored markers. I love my markers. And this chart has helped me all month long with my goal to eat well.
Mhm.
What's fascinating is I got to tell you, all the way through that A and the base of the R, I so didn't want to make good choices. Really didn't want to. But because the J, the A, and the N are already colored in, I'm not losing what I got here. My decision is to fill in all of those blanks and color all of these snowflakes by the end of the month. This lives on my desk. And so every morning when I come in, if I'd made my goals the day before, I color it in. And I feel just a little childish with it, but it is so effective.
Oh, it's great.
It's,
So
isn't it?
effective.
It because it feels good and it brings joy, and which is interesting because I discovered gold stars are my thing.
Oh, I
So
love gold stars,
having a
shiny
sheet
gold
of the gold
stars.
stars. So if I can put a gold star on my calendar for that day or my journal, then I have that gold star and it's just like, yay, I did it.
Yeah.
Or a smiley face. So those are my two things. Like the
Yeah.
coloring would just like, oh my gosh, that's something else I have to do. Ah. So for me, but to put a gold star on there or a smiley face, I like it. Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's
so
cool.
exciting.
So find
I
what works
love
for
it.
you.
Yeah, it's going to have an R and a Y here in the next few days,
That's
and
so
it'll be
cool.
done. Can I just show everybody that picture that I found over the weekend about
Yeah,
what's
do
happened
that.
from this particular goal? I'm so stoked. We found it just digging through boxes over the weekend, and I was so excited. Troy sent it to me, and he's like, I like this hue better. Can you guys see that? Did it show up?
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how much I weighed here because after I got to 225, I stopped weighing, but this has got to be 100 pounds heavier than where I am now. It's just got to be. And
Wow.
that is, hold on, let me unshare. That is a direct result of doing stuff like this.
Mm.
These
I
little
love it.
bitty, every day, stay with it. And I love the idea of having a goal range. That's
Mhm.
a new thought for me. Yeah, for what we're doing because that was me probably 15 years ago. And for the last 5 years, I've maintained this size. And so, but it's an ongoing project,
Yeah.
there's still a part of my brain that really wants to live on Twinkies and popcorn. So I know if I put it in my body, first, it won't taste good, and second, it's going to make me sick. But there's
Right.
still that part, right?
Yeah.
Kind of, there's probably still a part of all of us that wants to go back to before the goal and relapse into whatever
Well, it's that
comfort.
neuro pathway that we have in our brains. Those
Yeah.
things run deep. And depending on how long you've had that habit or
Mine
the
was since
old
birth.
habit.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was a
Mm.
big thing. Okay, so this morning when we were talking on our miracle call, Jen brought up about
Mm.
the blessings of nature. And I was thinking that today we were going to talk about counting blessings in order to change our mindset, to keep the momentum going, finding reasons to be grateful. But this this orchestration of nature for our benefit by our creator just had such a huge effect on me. Can you talk about it a little bit, Jen, and
Yes.
elaborate for people?
So I came across this podcast that's just fascinating. I'll share it. It's from the BBC and it's about soundscape and how the sounds of nature, how they're tuned to our brains. And he specifically talked about, well, he talked about a lot of things, but the one that really kind of like clicked with me, I'll go back and listen to it over and over again, but clicked with me that was like, oh my gosh, was about bird song.
Which, by the way, when I went out this morning, the birds were singing.
Yeah.
And it was like 45 degrees and it felt like spring. And I had just talked to you. So yes, about birdsong.
So we talked about how bird song, about the songs of the birds, songbirds. There's like it's frequent. The frequency is tuned to the human brain. So I was like, oh my gosh, and this is fascinating to me. But he got into the how the miracle of the bird song the bird, like songbirds, not every bird, but just songbirds, they have this thing, their voice box. He gave it a specific name, but their voice box, the bird is able to use a left lung or a right lung in different parts of that voice box.
Yeah.
First of all, the bird has control over which lung it breathes from,
Right.
or sings from, and then also what part of their box they're going to use. And that's the way that birds can layer notes on top of each other and sing two notes at the same time.
Wow.
And I was just like, that is so fascinating. But then also just to kind of understand that sounds are frequencies, and frequencies have healing abilities. And just like he's talking about how getting out in nature and listening to these frequencies, whether it be the birds, whether it be water, whether it be insects or whatever. Because wait till he tells you about insects.
Yeah.
He talks about how these frequencies have an effect on our bodies and our brains, and how it heals, and how we can develop, like things emotionally through these things by just being aware. And I was like, oh my gosh. I mean, my brain was just like exploding, because I was like, Heavenly Father really has created everything for our benefit, and even to the point where we don't even really understand, but yet our body is feeding from it. It was just blew my mind. It was just fascinating.
Well, and our bodies know, you're right. I mean, because I get up in the morning, go out, feed the chickens and the cats and the dog, and it lifts my spirits just walking out the back door to hear the birds. And so you can see how it's all orchestrated for our good. I really miss it if I don't get to go out. And so going out and hearing that bird song is just huge. And feeling the soft air. That's the other thing I love. That spring promise of air, which I know it's only February, not even February yet.
Close.
My brain's already ready for spring. Yeah. So the question is, how does that play back into the momentum of our goals? What do you think? I mean, I have an idea, but I don't want to be the talking head here.
Well, for me, I'm thinking, when I get in that space of overwhelm, or that space of doubt, or just like that low energy space, if I do go and engage and have more of the mindful, like, understanding of going out and actually trying to hear the birds and hear the rhythm and find them, or find the stream, find the water rhythm, or whatever, it's going to shift me somehow, or fill me up, or it's going to help with that, whatever state I am, it's going to change it. So that's kind of what I'm thinking with what I've just learned. So
yeah. No, I'm thinking, Jacine, when you walk to the mailbox, did it make you feel better?
It does, or out to the barn to feed the horses or something. Just to breathe that air. And I don't know, there's just something different about the indoor air versus the outdoor air, which is, and I mean, good or bad, depending on where you live, because I know in some places the outdoor air is not very nice. But right now where we live, it's really, really pure and really, really good. So
Awesome.
it does. It brings blessings. And I think when you were asking that, Beth, it just reminded me of things that I've been doing, just small things. And, with people checking in and saying, how are you feeling? How's it going? Can I do something for you?
Are you still there? Are you okay?
Yeah. Because
y'all have been really sick.
Yeah. And just being able in my text to say, yes, I am sick, and it's really suck and it's nasty. And but I'm so grateful. Like, finding what I'm grateful for. I'm so grateful I have a body that can be at home and in bed and know that it's fighting this, and know that it's doing what it needs to do, and that I have the ability to, just whatever, just finding little moments of gratitude amidst the pain and suffering.
Yeah. Well, and the gratitude helps you be more patient too, don't you think?
Yeah.
It really helps you be
Yeah.
patient in whatever that affliction is, whatever's going on there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think maybe that ties into gratitude helps us maintain momentum with our goals. Because
Mm-hmm.
isn't sometimes, at least for me, when I'm working on a goal and I'm not there by the end of the week, it just feels like it's never going to happen.
Mm.
And that impatience will get the better of me and I'll just give up. I just don't want to do it.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Because it feels hard and it feels like it will never end. But kind of like along with your healing journey, with how you're increasing slowly day by day, it's the same kind of thing with a goal. It increases slowly day by day. And
Mhm.
when you find gratitude in the daily moments, whether it's a bird call or the walk to the mailbox or just some kind of sweet mail that you got, who knows? But
Mhm.
whatever it is, that gratitude spurs you on and helps you. I know for a fact gratitude boosts the immune system too.
Mhm.
So you're going to get better faster if you're healthy. I mean, if you're grateful. But it also will work for goals, that gratitude, because it changes us. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They're very cool. We're talking today about the Monday morning inspiration that came out this morning. And so there were 3 points that were covered in that. One was the importance of gratitude, of looking for the good things in your life. Another one was, I'm going to read it to you. Let's see, things in nature, which we already talked to.
Uh-huh.
But then there was this one, change is a gift,
Mhm.
that we may want to take issue with sometimes. And that's
Oh.
where gratitude comes in, right? But when things are hard, change is a gift because they get better. And when things are good, change doesn't feel like so much a gift if things get worse.
Right.
What's your experience with change? What do you believe with that? You
Mm.
know, I know for me, when my kids were growing up, and even to this day, my husband will consistently say the only constant is change. And I really thought that once my kids got to be adults, I don't know why, some falsehood that I had in my head, that would end. But it's like change is even faster now that they're adults because there's so many more plates spinning, right? So many other things are changing. Yeah. But
Mm.
looking at it as a gift, it changes it for me.
I had to really work on this. It was really hard for me. Change was really hard for me at one point in my life. And when I started to do more of the inner work and to, try and have a different attitude, have a different thought process and things like that.
Uh,
One saying just stuck with me, and it really made me think, and it made me change to look at change in a more positive way.
mhm.
Was it's that sometimes good things have to fall apart for better things to fall together.
I love that.
Mm.
I know, and I was just
Love
kind of
that.
like, I don't ever want a good thing to fall apart, but what if that good thing has to for something better to come to
To come
pass, to come
together,
about? I know.
right?
So I'm just kind of like, yeah. So
It's
change,
like you're making room for more good.
yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is hopeful. Yeah. Sometimes things have to fall apart for good things to come together. I really like
Mm.
that.
For better things, good
Yeah.
things, for better things.
Oh, better
Mm.
things to come
Sometimes
together.
good things have to fall apart for better things to fall together.
And isn't that just the way of life?
Mhm.
It's over and over and over again. Good things fall apart. And usually the way we handle it will allow better things to come together. Sometimes we have clusters of experiences
Mm.
that fall apart, right?
Mhm.
But invariably, when we hang in there, then we have the good that comes together.
And that's not that everything that is a good thing that falls apart. I mean,
Agreed.
there are some bad changes. There's some bad things happening. You're just like, this is painful. This is not happy. This is not.
I don't like this.
I don't
Yep,
like this. Yeah, and so some of those
that's my
that's not
favorite.
where that quote
Mm.
is applicable. But just sometimes, yes, you can look at some of those things that you may think are bad at the time, but are actually good in the end.
Just change.
Sometimes, some things. I'm not saying
Yeah.
it's everything.
One of my favorite thoughts with the cognitive coaching is it's just a thought, and a thought can be changed.
Mhm.
It's one of my favorite diffusing thoughts to use if I'm discouraged, or if I'm, I don't want this, or I don't like this, or this isn't fair. It's just a thought, and the thought can be changed. And then checking in with my creator and asking for help to change that thought, to see it the way he sees it. And then generally that answer will come, and I can flip it to where that thought can be changed, bringing me back to gratitude, bringing us back to focus that change is a good thing. Yeah, it's a good thing. And I wanted to say that to myself today while I was working on Eventbrite, because when I got on Eventbrite, after that gal contacted me and said she couldn't register, there were several things that were wrong. First of all, we were the wrong time zone. Instead of Central, it was listed as Pacific.
Pacific.
And so the Jumpstart people would have showed up 2 hours off of the time and wouldn't have been able to get on. So that was wrong. And then there were like 2 or 3 other little things wrong that I changed. But the reason I was able to stay there and change it and bring it into line was because I took a deep breath and said, this is a good thing. This is a good thing to find on Monday instead of on Saturday afternoon.
Yes.
This is a good thing. And so as we're working on our goals, which Eventbrite is one of our goals, we really want to make that transition this year to where all of our events are being hosted there. But we're learning it, and we're not really good at it yet. We're better at it than we were last year, but we're not as good as we're going to be by the end of this year.
Yeah.
It's just the way a goal works. We get on regularly, and we check it, and we get discouraged, and then we start listing blessings, and then we start changing things because change is a gift. And we move forward. Yeah. And this time next year, it'll be like piece of cake. Eventbrite. Oh, sure. I could do that. I mean, you want me to do that for you? I can do that for you. Easy. It's not a problem.
We got this.
We got this. So when you guys show up for one of the Eventbrites, if you have any issue, please contact us directly. Just send a Beth at CMH Coaching. We'll work on it and grant us just a little bit of grace, which is our final point for goals. How does grace play into inspired goal setting, into our word, and into what we want to have happen in our lives? What do you think, you guys?
Man, grace, I think my favorite thing that I've learned from you guys is I have permission to be human. And that to me is giving myself grace. And just like you were saying, we're human, we're working on it. And it's okay. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. It's okay.
It's just what it is. Granting yourself grace keeps you going. Yeah. Because when you grant yourself grace, permission to be human, you're not judging yourself. You're not unleashing the inner critic, and unleashing all of just the terrible stuff that inner critic can go. Jen, you look like you got something you want to say.
I'm just thinking about how that's played out in the past few weeks for me, and the grace and it's like what Jacine says, grace to be human and maybe not get everything done that was on my list because I didn't feel good, or because, maybe it just wasn't in the energy to do it that day, but being able to recognize that that's just what it is and not criticize myself about it. And then just, move forward to the next day. Yeah. So I'm just thinking about how, oh gosh, this has played out in the past few weeks for me. So yeah.
Indeed. And grace to sit and watch a movie when you have a list of to-do things that goes pretty long. That's a good thing. You give yourself not 6 movies, but 1 movie is really okay. And I say that on purpose because I was tired at lunch. And I had gotten most of my stuff done, but not all of my stuff done. And so I looked at my watch and I'm like, you know what? I have 3 hours. I got time for a Hallmark movie. And so I watched The Summer Prince, the classic Cinderella story. Everything ends beautifully. It was self-care for me. It was happy thoughts, a little bit of fantasy, and I'm back because I took care of me.
I love that.
Yeah, it's really important. So Saturday is a day to take care of you, right? We've got this jumpstart coming up. Jen, you want to tell us? Because I'm so stoked about it. I would show you. I have a whole new set of colored pens. I'm so excited. They're roller balls. They're 0.5 tip. They're going to be so fun to play with.
It's doodling to release stress or pain or anything from the body. It's a kinetic release. And they're going to show you how you can take and just kind of section off something in your subconscious and work with your body to release it through doodling. And it's fascinating. The first time I did it, I was like, holy cow. And then, so it's really fun. And it's something that I will teach you the technique, and you can do this for many different things. And you can actually even do this if you're like in a meeting or something. I mean, like you don't have to like
get stressed.
Yeah, participate in. You can do it, and it's just a fun little technique. And you only take 5 minutes to do it. You don't take a long time, and then you come back and do 5 more minutes on it at some other time. So it's pretty gentle for the body, but I really like it. So I'm excited.
I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited to practice again and again. Go to Eventbrite and register, because we only have 25 seats. And when those 25 seats are gone, Jen and Jacine, I want to make sure that everybody's there that needs to be there.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, we'll do.
Go register, because Zoom says at 25 we're done. So that's what we're doing. That's coming up. And then Wednesday, we're going to go backwards here. So let's see. Wednesday, we've got book club, and it's the last week of the month for book club, right? The 31st.
Yep. The last week. Yep.
And you guys are finishing the Moments book?
Yep. We are. And then we're moving into Better Than Happy by Jody Moore for February.
That.
Yeah.
I own it in all of its forms. I mean, I'm a total junkie for that book. I have a hardcover, I have a paperback, I have a Kindle, I have an audiobook. That is a good book.
Oh my gosh. I'm excited to get into it.
It's a good book. Yeah. Jody's amazing.
That's
going to be great. I wish I could be there. It would be so fun. But let's talk about it all month long, because she has so many good principles that she teaches in that book. Happy is great, but it's possible to be better than happy. And that's the whole crux of that book, how to be better than just happy. And that's a cool mystery. That's a really cool thing that she writes about. Let's see. And then tomorrow we have Coaching Clear. There's no mastermind tonight, but there will be mastermind next week. And we're going to just move forward. I had some great inspiration for next week's mastermind, so I'm excited to talk about that one next week. So anything I missed? I think we're good. We don't have coach training starting until June, but if you have any interest in coach training, again, send us an email and let us know, and we'll get you on that list so you can learn some more. What you're grateful for.
Yep.
Remember to give yourself grace. Remember to be patient in whatever you feel your particular tribulation is at the moment. And let the process unfold, because the gift is the process, because the lesson is the process. It's not about arriving, it's about traveling. And so enjoy your travel this week, and we will talk again next week. Y'all take care. Oh, and don't Eventbrite. I hope I said it enough times. Eventbrite. See you then.
I can choose to be happy, choose to be free, moment by moment. It's all up to me, 'cause what I think about, I bring about. That's the way it is, and there is no doubt. Day by day, I pave the way with every little thought I think.
Hey, thanks for joining us today in A Creator-Based Life. I hope you felt that compassion, mindfulness, and hope you came seeking today. You can find more of it at cmhcoaching.com or on Linktree/CMHcoaching. Of course, any social media outlet, we're there too. Because you felt the benefit and light in this message, please invite those you care deeply about to join us. Help us to create a ripple effect across the globe of compassion, mindfulness, and hope. Then we can create a creator-based life together. Have a great week, y'all. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for everything with